Hello everyone, welcome back to our Let's Play of Daemonhunters, Duty Eternal. We're still kind of in the tutorial phase. This is just getting us our introduction to our first real mission.
Commander, it is our duty to support this Inquisitor, but we should complete this task as swiftly as we can. The Grand Masters on Titan are waiting for our report.
Okay, as we can see here, if we complete this mission, we will get plus 15 servitors, and that's about all the information we have for now.
Report. Signals from quarantine beacons detected in the upper atmosphere, but the surface itself is silent.
Plague, Commander. Send your squad to the surface.
Knights of Titan, you are the instrument of the Emperor's will. Make planetfall and discover if the Inquisitor's fears are founded. You should evaluate your Knight's armaments and ensure they are best suited to the battle at hand.
Okay, in this screen you can see the different Knights that you have and that you're bringing on the mission. This is the one that we just upgraded in our last episode.
The Nemesis Force Halberd can inflict a preemptive first strike. Choose which halberd you would like to equip.
Give different
Your options will be
weapons
limited
here
until we return to Titan.
This weapon has 5% plus critical chance. We'll just try that for now. We'll get a lot of other options as we go through the game, but I don't want to spend too much time on that right now. So we'll start our first mission. Actually, you can change which knights are coming. I've got 2 more available here. Let's see. I could just bring another Purgator, I could bring another Justicar. You know, we won't worry about that in this mission. We'll just start with what they've given us. And go with this for our first mission and see how it goes.
Commander, have your men look for signs of this plague.
Be vigilant, brothers.
Alright, for any of you who don't know, in this game,
yes,
when you contact the enemy, it will
standing ready.
reload all of
Moving
your
out.
action points, and I think your ammunition, I'm not
Yes,
positive of that one.
Your
And
orders.
so it can be slightly annoying to move one at a time,
My blade.
but it is usually safer
Eyes on.
to move up slowly
I am here to serve.
instead of rush one knight ahead.
I am here to
And the reason
serve.
for that
It will be done.
is if you
Chaos
rush
stirs
one knight
within the
ahead
shadows.
into the enemy, you'll regain all of your action points, but
Yes, Commander.
some of your knights will be left behind and
Moving
you'll
out.
have to spend action points to catch up.
Stop.
So ideally, at this point, I could move forward
It will be done.
and gain sight of the enemy. I do not know exactly how far they can see, but if you could get in range of them right now, it would refresh all of my units' AP.
Here.
And so one tactic you can do is you can use, for example, Aegis Shield here before you move up.
The Aegis Shield are.
So now he has some armor, and then if I move up here, it may reveal the enemy.
Yes.
Powers protect us.
Enemy sighted.
Alright, and as you can see, it revealed the enemy. It's still the same turn, and so I have my Aegis Shield on, and all of my knights now have 3 AP to use. And there's 4 of the enemy, and some of them are by this explosive that I could use.
I'll land this.
So let's get a little bit closer. Okay, so if I started out by hitting that, I could wound 2 of them. So we'll start there.
Are the hammer.
Foe destroyed, Commander.
It looks like the explosion blew one of them off of the map, and so that killed him. That is something you can do with explosions and some grenade types. If you can knock them off the edge of the map, that will kill them instantly. It also is explaining here that you'll gain extra willpower when you kill an enemy. But I did still use all of my action points for this knight.
Affirmative.
I'm not being super careful right now just because there's only a few of them. And here I could use this Psychic Onslaught. It would use some of my AP. How much does it use? 2 willpower and 2 ammo. And it would change it from a single target attack to an area of effect.
I must sanctify my rounds.
Got my apothecary here. I cannot get in range to use my melee. If I go over here, I could use a ranged shot.
Moving now.
And I could do a Psybolt, which would increase the damage. And it would take 1 willpower. I'll do that. It looks like it also put bleed on him. Oh, and this interceptor already comes with teleport. I thought that was something I had to upgrade. But I can use that to teleport forward. That'll get me closer to the enemy. just have 2 action points left. So one of these guys may be able to hit me because I was not being very careful. But if I am able to blow this guy a little closer, maybe he'll be in range for me to shoot him, but I don't know. So we'll just give it a try.
We are the hammer!
Oh, okay, I'm not quite as close as I thought. I can't walk up that far. So we'll just move over here. Did take a little bit of damage. I'll have to play a little more careful than that in the future.
What is your will?
What is your will?
Fall!
Threat eliminated.
Alright, and that resets everyone's AP again. So I can look around the map and see where to go. Again, I usually like to move my rearmost knights forward first.
Yes, sir. Chaos stirs within the shadows.
Your command?
It will be done.
Your command. Taking position.
There is an enemy patrol right over here.
Here.
Let's see. He only has 1, so I'll activate his shield. And hope he can run forward after this.
Advancing.
I have not yet
Yes,
revealed
Commander.
the enemy, but I imagine if I step forward here, it probably will.
I am here to serve.
Fool.
Let's just take a step forward.
Wait, that creature.
Inquisitor, we have seen the dead walk in this way before.
As have I. Poxwalkers are evidence of warp corruption. This is no natural plague.
Can teleport over to here. I activated
Your
his
command.
shield, but he is too far away really to do a whole lot still. I can get over here and probably
As
shoot at one
ordered.
of them.
Han.
I run right over here. Looks like if I grenade, I can only hit 2 of them. Maybe 3. Okay, right there I can hit 3. So we'll start with that.
It will be done.
Justicar cannot reach.
Yeah.
He has 2 action points left. I could run up and attack this one. But then I would be left vulnerable to some of the others. So let's see.
I am here to serve.
Can he shoot any? Yeah. Hit him.
Good. I will need to examine this corpse and...
I will not tolerate this contamination spreading to my servitors.
Alright.
Do not obstruct me, Tech Priest. I will follow proper protocols.
Five health. I can do 5 damage, so if I can get in range of this guy, I can probably... well, possibly. So we'll move 1 action point at a time. Wouldn't if I finish him off from this range. If I moved a little closer first, I might be able to.
Yes.
Let's give that a try. Alright, finish this guy off.
We slay the darkness.
Okay, and then I can run my interceptor forward. Kill this one.
Another one down.
I did take another hit.
Your orders?
Not really sure where I'm going after this, so for now,
Orders.
which way? Up here? Or over here? It looks like I'll be headed up here.
Yes, Commander.
At your service. Standing ready.
So I'll just move
Affirmative.
more this direction
What is your will?
and hit you.
Fall!
Satisfactory effort. Now return with my carcass so I can set to work.
We will deliver them to you as soon as containment is properly confirmed and sanctified.
Be swift about it. If this plague has already spread beyond this planet, then we will have far more ground to cover.
Okay, so that is the end of that mission. 2 of my knights were wounded a little bit, so we'll have to see how that affects them. Alright. Gain our 15 servitors. Some of our knights gained experience, but none of them leveled up.
Mission objectives achieved, Commander. Our guest wishes to speak with you in the Libras.
I must commend you on this impressive archive of demonic lore, Commander. It rivals some I've seen in inquisitorial fortresses. I will require it as a base of operations for my studies. I respect your authority in matters of combat, but I must remain until I can ascertain some solution to this plague. I am, of course, open to recommendations on which lines of study you feel would best serve the mission. I must insist, however, on beginning my research with a necropsy of the poxwalker carcass your brothers recovered. I am certain they hold a key to understanding this corruption.
Okay, so it looks like Vikir wants to research the demons we captured, and so she can figure out what's going on.
I will conduct a necropsy of the recovered corpse.
For now, we just have one option.
I shall begin at once. Inform your crew that I am not to be disturbed.
Alright, that's saying it'll take 30 days to complete this research.
Commander, I toil with a critical lack of resources. I request you attend me in the manufactorum.
Alright, so that is one of the rooms we can go to. We can go back to talk to the tech priest.
My servitors have restored the manufactorum to operational use, but the edict remains severely damaged. Without access to a proper dockyard, restoration will be slow and limited by the resources we can requisition from Titan or nearby inquisitorial enclaves. As of this moment, reviving the edict's core power output takes absolute primacy.
Alright, when we're over here, we can check the status of our
I
ship.
must improve the edict's power output in order to conduct more extensive repairs.
So as we continue through the campaign, we'll get more options. I think we have to start with this one. And this will take 6 days to complete.
I must now interface with the logic engines. I trust you have a great deal to attend to.
Alright, looks like she doesn't want to talk at the moment, so we can just go back to the
Commander,
star map.
I have adjusted the star map to display our current sector. However, our intelligence here is sparse. I suggest we bide our time until the Dominus restores power to our scanners.
Alright, and here we advance time.
The Dominus has restored the star map to its full function. We are receiving a barrage of scanning data and astropathic scrapings from across the sector. This plague appears to have already spread its tendrils far and wide. We are faced with reports of 2 infected systems. We should monitor this infestation carefully and judge where best to direct our forces while the Inquisitor pursues her answers. Failure will cost many souls.
Okay, so we just completed that repair project. So now we can start a new one. But first, now we can talk to Lunette, this tech priest here. I think it's interesting. I'm also doing a let's play of Mechanicus right now, and I'm just using a lot of tech priests in a game similar to this one. But here we just get to talk to her. We don't get to use her in battle, unfortunately.
Salutation. Consider this requirement fulfilled.
Okay, in this playthrough, I think I will select all the different options for talking.
I will not have the edict put at risk, even for an Inquisitor.
But anyone who wants to fully read everything, all the lore, can pause the videos and feel free to do so. But I don't think I will read everything as we go through the game.
The ship will remain sterile. The baleful edict has never let any of the brotherhoods that have traveled in her down. That is the way of the Inquisition. Affirmative. We have been the primary vessel for the Commander for the past 22 years. He was a leader in the Grey Knights, so he was revered. He did not suffer fools, or those that dared countenance his authority. Defiance suggests an emotional need to obstruct or obfuscate. Indeed, I serve the Omnissiah. The Ecclesiarchy's Imperial Creed carries only a muted echo of the Machine God's true will, waiting for new input. There are no active reconstruction projects, Commander. Waiting for new input. I must attend to repairs.
Okay, so now we can check the status of the ship and look for new things to upgrade. If I remember right, we can upgrade something that will give us more servitors. I think that would probably be a good thing to upgrade first. I believe it's the augmentation chamber here that lets us get, servitor production restored. So I'm going to start with that one. That'll take 2 servitors and 12 days to complete. We have 17 servitors here. Alright, we can go back to the library here, talk to Vakir.
We both have work to do. What do you need?
Let's ask about her
This
specimen.
one appears to be some kind of host. An object is nestled within. It is different from what I've seen with these puppets in the past. If we must. The Grey Knights will be needed in this task, and it is your duty to marshal them.
I'll ask why she commandeered
I
the
had
ship.
previously been hunting heretics siphoning power directly from the Hadex anomaly, not far from your previous campaign. Divining the visions of astropaths is an art in itself. Do I bore you? Yes, you've taken enough of my time.
Alright, and again we can check the research menu here. She's still working on the Pox Walker. It'll take 24 more days. Go back to the Strategium, talk to Ektar.
Do you seek wisdom, Commander? I am no ancient, but might be of some help. She already makes demands on a ship badly in need of restitution. Even we must respect the authority of the Inquisition when the situation demands it. It is a term that has fallen out of fashion. It was a strategic decision. By all means.
Alright, so the Inquisitor kind of came in and took over our ship, and we were on our way to get it repaired, but now she's recruited us for her mission.
It seems the Emperor has other plans for me. A matter between myself and the Emperor. I hope I can be of some use. He had a fitting end to his noble life. Why indeed, it is not my place to say. By all means. I hope that aids you, brother.
Okay, so Ektar is like our senior Grey Knight, but he doesn't wish to lead, so he's given that responsibility to us. And we can check out the barracks here and look at our knights.
I'll land first.
Let's check his loadout real quick. I believe I upgraded him to use Terminator armor. So if I equip that, he has +2 armor passively. And it changes the look here. And let's see our melee weapon options here. Right now he's using a halberd. It gives him a auto first strike ability and 5% critical chance. I do have this hammer, and it looks like a few other ones. This was from a pre-order DLC, I believe. I don't know if it's considered a DLC, but for a pre-order bonus. It has all these abilities that can be upgraded, but they are not active right now. But I can activate it to add 1 stun to his melee attack, and this weapon has +1 critical damage and 10% critical chance. Because I talked about using him to stun enemies and maybe upgrade that charge ability, I think this might be a good option, just to add more stun capacity. So we'll take this hammer for now. Warrior slots. Oh, we have servo skulls already. We have grenades. Servo skull is... okay, so this is the medical one. I feel like grenades and medical servo skulls are both useful. And what equipment do we have? Critical damage, critical chance, or max willpower. For now on this knight, let's add the critical damage and critical chance, since the hammer he has also applies that. Keep the grenade on him for... no, never mind. So that takes place of the grenade. Gotcha. Okay. Okay, we won't go through all the other knights right now. I think we'll end the episode here.
Let's ready ourselves for the trials to come. Awaiting your
before we
orders.
advance time, and we'll let the next episode continue with our next mission. Thank you everyone for watching, and have a good day.